Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This is the third of four in our COVID-19 series. Today's topic, Mobilizing for Fall, a quick to implement retention plan, brought to you by the National Council for Marketing and Public Relations. From our national office in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I'm Debbie Halsey. It's my pleasure to serve as Executive Director. With me behind the scenes is Ben Munson, NCMPR's Marketing and Member Outreach Manager, who's joining us from St. Louis, Missouri. We hope that everyone with us online today is doing well. We know that you have your hands full with things continuing to change almost daily. The challenges are indeed immense. Keep up the heroic work on your end. We really do applaud your efforts. We have a few housekeeping notes before we get to our presentation. We do have a large number of people registered for today's webinar. So because of the sheer volume of attendees, we may not be able to get to all of the questions. In anticipation of that, we have created a new NCMPR Facebook group, thanks to Ben, where you can post follow-up questions for the presenter and follow-up comments for colleagues. You can join the group by searching within Facebook for Community College Collaborators, COVID-19. Finally, we want to say thanks, a huge thanks to three sponsors who have helped to make this series of webinars possible: Interact Communications, Claris Corporation, and 25th Hour Communications. We appreciate their generous support and assistance in bringing you this programming. And now to today's presentation. Our presenter is Crystal Berry. She's Vice President of Marketing and Communications with 25th Hour Communications. Crystal leads all digital media campaigns for 25th Hour's clients. She's an experienced media buyer and marketing manager with more than 14 years in higher ed. With a business background, Crystal specializes in marketing and business development, project management, product development, and brand awareness. She is Google certified and proficient in Facebook, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat campaign building. Crystal, we are happy to have you with us. Thanks for making today's presentation into 25th Hour for co-sponsoring this series of webinars.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. As Debbie has introduced me, my name is Crystal Berry, Vice President of Marketing and Communications for 25th Hour. You know, in this new shift into the now new normal, let's not forget to lean on our basics while working to implement non-traditional solutions. I've kind of said this before, the show must go on, so let's work together to dig deep and do our best. Key takeaways from this webinar will be a two-pronged approach. We're going to look at these today for recruitment and retention, using things you already have at your fingertips. Okay? In the coming slides, you'll be given a robust plan outline that you can take to your desk and implement, hopefully, within 5 to 7 days. And not only for this season, but this is actually a plug-and-play outline that you can take to do any custom audience targeting that you would like to do in the future. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. So our first prong is going to be retention. I have had a lot of conversations with colleagues, and some of them will say, do not say this out loud where anyone can hear you, but I will say it. Our students are customers, and they deserve excellence in customer service workflows, processes, and communication models. More commonly than not, our services and resource pages get pushed to the back burner. But I joke, I'm like, this is their time to shine. You know, this is where we can actually pull those pages out and really showcase all of the services and resources that we have available to our students. You know, student engagement can be a deal breaker. Just as though you and I prefer to work with to interact and work within our favorite brands, students have really come to expect those same experiences while interacting with their college. And so that, even during this time, is even more important than ever. So we really need to work to prioritize their needs, remove barriers where possible, and create access and equity along the way. We really need to be their biggest cheerleader, their coach, and their biggest supporter. So a few other notes on this slide. We're looking at this first prong. We've talked a little bit about services, resources. Do you want to make sure that we understand pulling enrollment reports and how important that is? And this is nothing new to this group. You know, we should be keeping an eye on enrollment, withdrawals. I do want to talk a little bit and just say, you know, the difference between a student withdrawal and instructor-initiated withdrawal, some of those can overlap, but they could pose a custom situation or scenario that we really need to take a deeper look. So when we get our enrollment reports and we see these W's, we see how many people have stopped out for this semester, really take a look at maybe what those underlying issues could be. When a student makes that decision over an instructor, there's some things that we can message to. So just kind of in the back of your mind, keep that kind of going, a running dialogue in the background. The other thing is that retention is an active tactic until at least the beginning of May. We know a lot of your semesters would be kind of wrapping up mid-May. So it's not too late to get started. There's still, good 3-4 weeks. And honestly, the student struggle does not discriminate by week. What someone may have under control this week may change in next week, may change to the next week. So when people say, well, it's too late to start retention for this semester, it's definitely not the case. You're retaining them to almost the last day of school. And I think you guys would agree with that. So what we say is retention is an ongoing vibe. Okay, it's never too late. So the first prong of your retention campaign, like I said, starting anywhere between April 1st, just because of this new normal, the COVID-19, there's a lot of other things we're transitioning to. This is an ongoing thing, but for this particular season, we're looking at starting here in this first week or two of April and going all the way through mid-May. So what does this look like? So we say that we want to give you an outline of something that you can do quickly, that you can do with things you have at your fingertips. So let's take a look. We want to get started with our current students. Making good on the investment you made to recruit them is not only good people or good business, but we like to say good people. We kind of owe it to them to go where they are and offer them the resources they need to be successful. So here's how we can do this. Looking at two platforms that you're probably on, most of you are probably doing your own Facebook campaigns or have someone helping you with Facebook campaigns. Custom audience campaigns are easy to do, and you're using college lists. The other part is geofencing, which most of you probably have a geofence or geospatial vendor that you use. And again, we're going to take a list and we're going to be able to use that and take it and use it twice on two platforms. So you don't have to pull multiple lists. You just need to be able to pull one list with a few different fields in it, and then we can kind of take it and go from there. So this is communication tactics for this include digital advertising on Facebook and Instagram, and also with your geofence and geospatial provider. Facebook offers custom audience feature where you can upload a list with entries and you can serve anyone on that list with custom messages as long as Facebook can match them on about 2 to 3 data points. The other one with geofence capabilities is that we can reverse IP target this same list, these same households, and serve everybody in that home and all the devices in that home with very specific ads. So that's what we're going to use to reach your current students. So you'll see that the campaign notes the audience is current students. We're going to run this through about May 1st, and this is just to offer them services. This is just to say, hey, we are here for you. If you need something, come to this page and we will give you all the resources that are available to you. And we're going to pull them all into one area so that you don't have to go all over the website and look. And you can kind of make some decisions on how to finish the rest of your semester. And this is prong one. So what do you really need to pull this off? You need a current student list, first name, last name, phone number, personal email, and household address. Now this list, when you are requesting it from the registrar's office or admissions and records, should not include student IDs. That's something that you do not ever want to upload to any platform is an associated student ID with this. That would be an FERPA violation. So how we kind of work through this is that generally this information is directory information, phone number, a household address, and first and last name. Personal email should probably have been given on an application at some point in time, or you may record those. These are all data points that Facebook will be able to match Facebook users with, and Instagram users, because we build in the back of Facebook, we build Instagram and Facebook. So kind of looking at that, that's what your current student list needs to look like. That's something you could request today, and you could basically be up and running within about 5 to 7 days, depending on your assets, and upload it to Facebook as a custom audience. For Facebook and Instagram, we're looking at 3 to 4 images. These can be square, 500 by 500. Facebook likes the 1200 by 628. This is going to be an image and a logo. We're not going to put text on the image, or if we do, it's going to be very pointed, 5 to 7 words. We're going to speak directly to that audience. And when we're talking through this outline, what I'd like to share is that this could be any custom audience, you guys. This could be your current student list. This could be your applied not registered list. When we're looking at what the campaign goal is, you can basically rinse and repeat this outline and say, if I want to contact, if I want to fill a program, a nursing program, and I'm looking at people that have taken medical assisting or CNA or any of these other programs, allied health programs that might feed into this, I can pull this custom list and do these very same tactics. So something I just want to reiterate is that, yes, this is a great retention model, but this is also a great custom audience model in general, and we use it quite frequently, and it's quite successful. So Facebook and Instagram, you're going to need some images with the logo. You're going to need copy that speaks directly to that current student. So in this case, it's going to say something like, hey, thanks for being a current student. We're here for you. This is what we can do. You've got this. Chin up. We're here to support you. And you'll kind of see this in these ad samples. I'm going to show you these are in-action campaigns that are running right now. So we have the upload of current student list. Facebook will match based on that criteria. And then we move down to the geofence tactic. So with the geofence tactic, we have assets that are 320 by 50 and 728 by 90. And there's actually a handful of other assets that you could use for this. And you could use up to 6 sizes. And if you're running geospatial or geofence and any of your other platforms, I would say get some data, take a look at that data and see what other ad sizes are working for you. These are commonly the best performing sizes. And we say GIFs because of the fact that static JPEGs do well, but not as well as what we've seen for animated GIFs. So you're going to take that same list and you're going to pull the household addresses off that, and you're going to upload that to your geofence or geospatial provider or vendor. You're going to serve ads back to that household on any device in that house. So maybe you're not going to get with, you won't be able to get with Johnny, but Johnny's mom, because he's at home or he's had to move back home, she's going to see some of these ads that are going to say, hey, we can help you, we can support you. So what's great about this is that there is success in being able to serve all the devices in the house. So that's just not based at the student level. And then we need a student and resource page. So pulling all this information together, if you don't have the resources to build a services page, let's find a good page and add to it. I'll show you some examples of that going forward. We want to make sure there's phone numbers, there's contact information. We want to make sure that there are transportation, daycare, any of these kinds of things that we can offer to keep these students retained. And I understand that transportation and daycare are not maybe something that would work just this minute with everyone being shelter in place and stay-at-home directives, but in general, we want to talk about all of the ways we can help. So I would like to show you some of these things that are in action. So in this PowerPoint, the links for this will be active. You can check on all of these pages. Like I said, we are in active campaign mode, or these pages are in working order right now. So one of the first colleges I would like to share has an amazing online student resource page that we pulled together about March 13th, and we've been updating it ever since. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College in West Virginia put together an amazing page. As you can see, it's a little bit small probably on your screen, but if you go to that link, you'll be able to view it in real time and see what they've got going on. So we've got a list to all the major departments: Office of the Registrar, Officer of Financial Aid, Dean of Students. We've got updates in the news. But the great thing about this page is that there's a beautiful online resource guide, which you'll see all the way to the right. With that online resource guide, it's a little text heavy, but it has so much information. And I urge you to go to that page, open that online resource guide, and see what we did for Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. We just partnered with Missouri Community College Association and did a virtual student services webinar where Bridge Valley was one of the panelists. The Bridge Valley team was one of the panelists. And so this has been shared on a national level, and it's a really great resource. So LPC and Chabot did something a little bit different. They actually have their campaign pages already set up for summer. So as you can see, what they did is they actually took the resources and they put them at the top of the page. along with a video with a calm face of leadership kind of explaining the state of the college. And so this is a different take on a services page. There's a lot of information actually on this page just as it sits as a general landing page, is how to apply and Canvas and Class Web and some of these other things. So they've added a few more resources. They added the COVID-19 update at the top with a YouTube video embedded. And we are doing active campaign ads pointing to this page, and it's a retention campaign, just like we've talked about, and I'll show you what those ads look like. So if you have an active apply now page or some sort of landing page available for summer, here's an opportunity where, again, you don't have to build something brand new. If you have the resources, great. If not, you can go ahead and do something like this on a page that you're already using. Here are a few examples too of some social media posts. I do not want to discount the fact that your retention will rely heavily on organic, full-blown social media campaigns and email marketing campaigns and even text campaigns if you have a vendor that you're already working with. Southeastern Iowa did a great push on their social media page. You can see on the page here, finish on a high note, set up a study pace, these tips, SEC for me, and some common hashtags. Bridge Valley has done a few posts every week, just kind of reaching out. They do a lot of student life. Their whole student area of the college is just phenomenal. They have a wonderful student campus community. And so they've been doing fun virtual tours of, like I said, the Grand Canyon and all these other things that, you know, they can kind of tie into. So doing social media posts and email blasts to kind of support this retention is very helpful and successful. Spartanburg Community College. So they did not create a new page. We went ahead and we're running ads for them. They did not create a new page. They actually had a frequently asked questions page, but what they did do, if you look at the bottom left hand of your screen, is they added the Ask SCC form. So there's a lot of information on this page. It's frequently asked questions. So they added the form, and then at the top, they added the title, Guidance During a Time of Uncertainty. So if you have a frequently asked questions page, just even tweaking it just a little bit could make it a good support page for your students. Like I said, there's a lot of information on this page, but tweaking that title and giving somebody an opportunity to submit a form is great. Looking at the ad to the right, this is an example of what I was kind of talking about a little bit. This, you've got this. You can go to our page to find help with blank, blank, and blank. And if you go back, I'm going to just go back here just a minute. If you go back to this, you say, in the messages, we are here for you. Chin up. You've got this. Click the link below and head over. You can find help with things like blank, blank, and blank. That's what we're going for here. And that's what that ad looks like when you go to implement. That's what it will look like. Another great college, Orange Coast College. They actually have the resources to go ahead and set up their landing page. They have a wonderful team behind them, so we were able to quick to implement. They've got the web page set up. Now they've got a little bit more information in their text of their ad, but if you look at the headline below the image, we're here for you. Okay, stay the course. We're all in this together. And then that ad is pointing back to this page. They are running geofence back to household addresses of current students, and they are also running the two-pronged retention and recruitment campaign for current students. This is in action. This is stuff that's happening right now. Here's an idea of what those GIFs I was talking about for geofence. Here's a 300 by 250 and a 728 by 90. They're a little blurry because I've blown them up so you could look at them. Now with Orange Coast, we've done static JPEGs. Like I said, you don't have to do animated GIFs. Either will work. Depends on what you have for resources. I know a lot of you are an army of 1 or 2 or even 3 people. Some of you have a full entire team. What does time permit? And then kind of go ahead and working through that. So you should have some flexibility in the assets that you're creating. And this is all part of that quick to implement program. So now we're at fall retention. We've worked through what is this, retention from spring to fall. We've worked through the we're here for you. We've worked through the services part of this. It's, we've got through about May 5th, May 10th, somewhere around in there. Now we really need to start bumping up for them to sign up before they leave. Signing up for summer and fall. Now, this can be summer and fall advertising, but with most colleges still up in the air about on-campus delivery. Summer quarter or semester, it can be a lower enrolled session as it is. So we are recommending that you fill the pipeline for fall 2020. Most importantly, we need to reduce churn from spring to fall by pushing registration for current students, so that they do this before they leave. And this is not uncommon, nor is it specific to COVID-19 that we want them to register before they leave for the summer. This is very common. Just a reminder though, get back to the basics a little bit and remember some of the things that we need to be doing. So what does this messaging look like? Pushing the priority of being a current student, giving them something to commit to in a time of uncertainty. What else can we give them as a current student? Remember, we want to preach brand experience. We want to engage the customer journey. They are still customers. So how do we keep them engaged from now until fall? Knowing that they can make well-laid plans now and take a breath before coming back in August, this really gives them the downtime with other areas of their life and an opportunity to check things off the list. So if we can give them that sense of calm, say, hey, you've got this, we're here for you, finish this up. Now, let's get you situated for August or whenever that next semester starts or quarter starts. Check it off the list, and some of them will tell you that it's reassuring and it's refreshing that they can kind of get this stuff situated, go take care of their family for the next few months, and come back. I speak to a lot of clients, and a lot of them will say, well, we just don't know what fall's going to do. We just don't know what summer's going to do. And I will urge you to fill that pipeline, because what is going to happen is you will still be on the hook. There will still be people who need to be trained for new jobs and for better jobs. There will be small business owners that will have gone under and lost everything and need to go back to school to train for something else. That is what we're here to help do. We're here to train the workforce and to train this community, your community, my community, train our communities to push through this. And so although things are a little uncertain, what I would urge is that you should be filling the pipeline. Even if you don't know if fall might have to be online. I mean, we don't know right now. Let's not worry about that per se. Let's really think about filling that pipeline. And if we need to communicate with those that are registered for fall on how that course delivery needs to happen, let's do that then, but let's not discount the fact that we need to be here and open for business. The other few things about, like I said, timing and job skills, online programs, what kind of makes you different? So I'll show you some examples in here. If everybody's kind of going online, what makes you different? And I would like to share with you some samples of what that looks like as far as timing, as far as quick to train, quick to field, quick to market skill sets. That's kind of what's popping. And I've pulled some things off Instagram. I've worked with some other team members and colleagues and to share that information with you. So what we're seeing a lot of is this: get the certificate in 6 weeks, train for this program in 8 months. Putting that timing or time to complete in your ads going forward is going to help you. And this speaks a little bit more to that prospective student than in your current student role when you're trying to retain them from spring to fall. But when we look at applied, not registered, and we look at some just general fall recruitment items, we want to look at that timing, and we want to look at really bumping up the job skills. The other piece to this, I'm not sure how many of you are participating in digital badges. We have a few colleges that, I know there's a college in Madison Area Technical College, I think, and we're working with Bridge Valley right now that really offer training and digital badges. This is really huge on LinkedIn. Resumes, profiles, that kind of thing. You can actually include those in your email signatures. And so I would really encourage you to look into digital badges if you haven't already. There are a few great crediting agencies around the country that offer these digital badges, and this has really proven to be quick to train, quick to utilize job skills. And again, the show must go on. You know, we will have to continue to be the cornerstone of this country while we train the workforce that pushes through this. So let's look at the next piece of this. So what you'll see is that we are going to use the same. So for your current students, now we're switching the message from we're here for you to now enroll in fall or summer. So it's the same tactics, it's the same outline. For this, you already have your current student list uploaded. What's different about this is that you'll just swap out the copy or the images or your assets, but you'll still have the current student list for your household, and you'll still have the current student list uploaded into Facebook and Instagram, and it will be saved as a custom audience. You don't really have to do anything else. And the great thing about custom audiences is that the more you run campaigns with them, the better Facebook and Instagram gets at matching them. So this campaign is actually going to give you a little bit higher quality score. Your ads will probably be seen a little bit more frequently because of the fact that they're matched and it's been running for a little bit. The other thing you're going to get from this is that you've run this campaign with your current students. You're going to see which ads performed better. You can tweak the images. You can tweak the copy. You can use the data that you've learned. And we're looking at anywhere from $300 to $2,500. You guys, because it's such a targeted audience, you do not have to spend a lot of money on this. If you're a more rural college, you're going to be able to do this for between $300 and $500. If you're, if you're where you can throw a rock and hit another community college, or you have a high population in your community or service area, you could do this for $1,000 to $2,500. And so this is something that you can get away with very inexpensively, but the data that it's going to give you is really going to be immense, and the value on top of it. So we're at the retention part of this. This usually runs, we come down for about 4 or 5 days. We don't want the ads to become white noise. We want to come down for about 4 or 5 days, update our creative, look at the data, see what it says, make any tweaks that are necessary, and then we want to come back up. We're going to come back up, and then we're going to carry this out for about another 4 weeks, trying to get people, students to register from spring to fall. So this is really a great opportunity. Like I said, this is a plug and play outline. You've already had yourself set up for the retention piece. Now you're going to go ahead and get them to sign up, and you're just going to swap out images, and you're off to the races. We want to add one more piece to this prong. So now that you're comfortable pulling your lists, and now that you're comfortable doing your custom audiences, and you've got this outline, let's go ahead and take it one step further. Let's look at your applied not registered list. You can take those students over the last 3 to 4 semesters. And honestly, some of these might be students that applied and went to university, or took another job, or started a family, or whatever those reasons may be. They might have just been, putting in their applications because their high school counselor said they had to. We have a little bit of that as well. But go ahead and taking that this whole plan and just making it yet another custom audience. So we have your applied not registered. Go back 3 to 4 semesters, and uploading that, looking at what works for your creative. Now for this, because you might not have a bunch of data behind because you've been doing the current student piece. If you're doing digital advertising yourself or with any other vendors, what's going to be really important about this is that you should have data behind the things you have done in the past. So take those images that are working well. But now you've uploaded your applied not registered list to Facebook, and these messages are going to say, hey, you've applied. Thank you for applying. Come back and finish the process. Or some of these messages up here. I love this message. Our president, Jennifer Aries, kind of wrote some of this copy. Since you have to stay at home, why not register now for fall or summer? Basically, sit back, relax, look at the awesome classes we offer, then apply. You can do it all from right where you are. This has really been proved. This has actually been a very successful campaign for us, and we have quite a few clients that are doing this applied not registered list. You've got the bones. You guys have got the outline. You've got the tactics, and you can basically quick to implement 5 to 7 days. Now the only difference with this is that where you're pointing these ads. Now these would go not to a service page, but these would go to a campaign page or a landing page. In the instance of Chabot and Las Positas Community College District, for those 2 colleges, They are pointing their current students to retain them to the same page that they're promoting their summer campaign and fall campaigns to. So it's kind of a twofer. They're kind of pointing everybody to the same page and making the most of that landing page. So here's some examples of what this looks like. This is a recruitment for fall. We've got applied not registered. And we also have, we're doing a little bit of the app not registered list, and then we also have the current student list. So before you head out for summer, register for fall classes. As a continuing student, you register first, so take advantage of this opportunity. Don't forget to register. Peninsula College, they've done an excellent job. They are on a quarter system, so their dates are a little bit off. They just started their spring quarter April 13th. Or will start April 13th. So theirs is, you've applied to Peninsula College, but you haven't registered for spring. We're here and we have online classes. Register now. The other one, can just say, we're here to their current students. We're here, we're here, stay home to make you healthy, that kind of thing. We're changing the way we do things so that we can help you be successful. And these are all, again, ads and active campaign periods right now. These are all ads that are running on Facebook. How to differentiate yourself. So Spokane, Community Colleges of Spokane, they're doing a wonderful campaign. They're doing TV, newspaper, all of these other things. They're also doing, a digital campaign to support this. And this is a kind of a wide open piece, but they're also doing applied not registered, and they're also tackling their stop outs. So this is something where they made a very clean landing page. They're using a few pieces here that they feel differentiates them. A trusted degree from a college serving the region for over 50 years, a world-class education from the comfort of your home, and then a few pieces about transfer to a university getting via transfer degree. This is just something I really wanted to share that's very simplistic. It's got a few calls to action on the page, and this is a great opportunity for you to differentiate yourself by looking at some of the things that you feel within your service area kind of make you different. So I'm going to go ahead and share two videos with you. They're very short. They're about 15 to 30 seconds. I do want to warn you that in these types of webinar platforms, the video does tend to lag just a little bit and the sound may not be as clear. But what I would say is as soon as this PowerPoint is available, please click on, please open it and be able to view it. And if it is in PDF form, we might be able to I'll work with Debbie to maybe put these videos in the Facebook group that she spoke about earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to go ahead and play the Chabot video. This is Orange Coast College and Chabot College. These are examples of very quick to implement video assets that should take maybe 2 to 3 days at the most to make. And if you want more information about that, how to do that, let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll let you guys take a look at what these look like.
There's a lot going on in the world right now. Hang in there. We will get through this. And remember, Orange Coast College is here and ready when you are. Visit orangecoastcollege.edu to learn more about how you can continue your education at one of the top transfer schools in California.
Taking a look at that, those two video samples, those are very easy to do. They just contain some, drone footage if you had it, but if you didn't have it, it wouldn't be required. Text, some moving text, some icons, some solid colors. That's kind of where things are trending at right now. We're looking for information with solid colors. We always like to say use student photos as much as you can, but in this instance, they can't really resonate with the fact that they're on campus. So we want to be a little bit careful about the imagery that we choose for this. So looking at kind of what's trending, We see solid colors, we see very bold and direct statements, and then some timing added to that. And that's kind of what I would like to show you guys here. I spoke a little bit about that earlier, and here's kind of some examples of that. So Northwest Missouri State University, I've screenshotted all of these off either Facebook or Instagram to show you, we have some of these four-year universities that are actually kind of trying to come down to a short-term training level and compete with community colleges. And so they're kind of trying to break out in that, but really I think that, obviously community colleges do this better. And I want us to be able to have an opportunity to showcase that. So again, complete in as few as 12 months. This learn from leaders, earn your MS in as few as 16 months, medical coding, 6 weeks, 6 months. Here's one that's really interesting, and this is when I said, what differentiates you? If you're going to go online, what are some things that really differentiate you? Looking at this culinary one is great. Time to get your culinary degree or diploma online. That's right. We said online. And in the text, you can say, it says, we figured out how to teach culinary arts online. Yes, really. I would urge you to be working with leadership to find new twists on programs, at least in the short term, right? So maybe they can't get their entire culinary degree, but maybe there's some of this that they can start in an online format and then transition to face-to-face delivery as we work through what this unknown looks like in the next few months. So maybe for fall semester, I would urge you as a recruitment mechanism to really get with leadership and find out what kinds of things can we start online and really put ourselves out there to say, you can get this first part of this degree completed, or you can get this certificate completed. So I thought that was a really great opportunity to showcase somebody thinking outside the box a little bit. Online training for movement marketers. Now the call to action there is apply by April 4th. That doesn't really say it in the image, but you can see a lot of this is solid colors and to the point text. But down in the below of that, you will see you can learn in 12 weeks what took us, blah, 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 and you can kind of open that up. Oxford, they've got an 8-week online program. And so just kind of sharing what these are looking like in the world, in Instagram, Facebook, and kind of digitally, how do we respond? And you'll also see in those 2 videos that I showed, solid colors, icons, and like I said, a little bit of B-roll footage if you had it, and to the point and direct text. So we launched the retention campaign for Spartanburg and Orange Coast late Friday night, and then one of them started, I think, Sunday night. So even within that little bit of time, we were able to get 250 clicks on Orange Coast retention. 250 students clicked on that. And it's not only the fact that they clicked on it, you guys, I want to share with the fact that they saved it and they shared it. This is a community college environment. This is a family. And so, within 3 to 4 days, I just pulled these metrics at the beginning of the week. Their students are saving it so that they can go back to it later. Maybe they're not having an issue right now. Maybe they're not struggling right this minute, but it's nice to know that Orange Coast has their back. They've saved that post. 3 people shared it. Now, single digits feel a little small, but if any of you have ever worked with me before, I will tell you when it comes to engagement metrics, even 1 share onto someone taking your ad and putting it on their Facebook feed and endorsing it or sharing it is successful. So post saves, we have post comments. We also have post reactions. People are liking, loving, that kind of thing, and tagging each other in these comments, and then tagging each other and family members and instructors and that kind of thing. So it's been really refreshing and very well received. Same with Spartanburg retention. This is a little bit of a smaller school compared to maybe what Orange Coast would be, but we have post reactions and we have students clicking. So this is where it's at. We want to send them to a page that gives them services and helps them stay retained. So I want to walk through some of these wrap-up pieces, and then, like I said, we can open up for questions. I know you guys are all busy, and these webinars are great, and they're probably playing in the background as you work. So thank you. Thank you so much for giving us the time. But I really want to talk through a few of these, extended a little bit. So we want to make sure that we're promoting equity and access. We know these are big words. They're buzzwords right now in higher ed. They're important words, and they're necessary. What we're seeing on social media are a lot of people saying, now that I have to connect online, It's really showing how I'm not on the same playing field as some of my students or some of my classmates. You know, when we all come to class and sit down, it's one thing. Nobody really has to know how I got there or how I got home or where I live. But now I'm being required to log on to a Zoom meeting where maybe the background of my video is not something I want to share. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm at a McDonald's or maybe I'm at a library. And so some of this playing field has become quite uneven. So by providing services, obviously you guys know that this is kind of where we need to be, and putting together not only just what the college can offer, but who are your partners? Who, you know, are you putting Health and Human Services phone numbers and departments on there? Are you putting, you know, employers that are hiring? Right? We know we have people who out there who are essential employees that are hiring. Maybe there are jobs available. You know, mental health links and phone numbers to people that may be struggling. So really promoting that equity and access is just going to do so much more for you. It's a retention piece. There is a call to action, but most importantly, this is the right thing to be doing. So in order for them to really feel fulfilled and feel like you've got their back, you know, this is why we say spend a little bit of money on this. This may not be a revenue generator. This may not be what, you know, this normal call to action and convert, but really it's just keeping them enrolled in school because that could change their life. The college provided lists are another important part. That's why we say current student lists, applied not registered. This is retention and recruitment. There's no reason you should have to go out and buy lists. You should be communicating low-hanging fruit with your low-hanging fruit, and you should be kind of taking care of them, but also utilizing. These applied not registered are a warm lead. You do not have to reintroduce yourself to these people, and for a very short duration and for inexpensively, you can communicate with them, and hopefully we can convert and support them in this time. Maybe some of them have come back from college and decide they don't want to go back. Maybe some of them, like I said, have lost their jobs. Maybe some of them are entrepreneurs and their businesses are no longer running and they can't recover. I spoke a little bit earlier about organic email and social to support paid campaigns. I cannot stress this enough. We can put together these, like I said, outlines, these models, these campaign models that are quick to implement. If you have the bandwidth to create an email marketing campaign or a social media campaign, and what I mean by that is 5 to 7 social media posts that go out during the same time you're in a paid campaign, or 2 emails to your applied not registered, 2 emails to your stop outs, and 2 emails to your current students, all pointing them to the pages that are appropriate, can actually take the dollars of your campaign 2, 3, 4 times over and really boost the effectiveness of that. And honestly, we always tell people that no matter what you want to believe, Google and Facebook know what's going on the internet. And so when you have a Google ad running and you have a Facebook ad running and it matches the copy on your landing page, it's going to create relevancy. And if there's emails going out through Constant Contact or MailChimp, and then you have social media posts, that can all be seen online, and there is consistency among different platforms, and there's relevancy, and it will make all of your things perform better. Timing, we talked about this, new takes on common programs. Look at that Culinary piece where they took that program online. There could be small diesel, you know, small engine diesel, something maybe you could do there, or learning through YouTube Learning or things like that. Video, it's hard. People think we have to have high produced video, that it needs to take a lot of money and a lot of resources and a time, and really you can get these things up and going, you know, 2-3 days at the most, the way you're looking at them now. Now, those are not meant to be TV commercials and a full series, but they can be used on OTT. They can be used on YouTube. They can be used in this social media and email campaigns. You know, you can use them actually as paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. So you could create a handful of these short videos, 15 to 30 seconds, and you can multiply and use those on 4, 5, 6 different platforms. Some of them paid, some of them not paid. We really urge calm faces of leadership. Videos, instructors, leadership of the college. We're actually doing a no-cost campaign for a client right now that is purely email and social, and we're having student ambassadors doing some videos at their home desk, instructors doing a video from their home desk, and a face of leadership doing a video from their desk at home to really even the playing field and let students know, hey, you're not in this alone, and here's our update for the week, or here's where things are at, or have you thought about this program? Did you know that so-and-so college offers this program and you can be done in 7 to 10 days or 7 to 10 weeks? And so calm faces of leadership are important and are expected at this time. And if you have additional dollars and you have a large student body, or you know that one of these other platforms works well for you, definitely consider adding Snapchat, adding text messaging. I know a lot of you have relationships with vendors that, like a Full Measure or a Campus Cast or something like that, where you have contracts with them. Utilize those text messages and making sure that not only are you just communicating information, but taking an opportunity to check in with your students. There's some two-way messaging options that go with that. So if your budget allows for you to be adding those. So that's the end of the webinar. My information is on this slide. There's also a link to the Facebook group and also a recording of the webinar that you can find at the YouTube channel uploaded later today. Again, like I said, I appreciate your time. Thank you for letting me speak with you and letting this kind of play in the background. Hopefully you've been able to check some emails, but also tune in. I know how this goes. And if you've downloaded this and you weren't able to make it and you're listening to this in a quiet space and a time where you've just been able to sit down and listen to this on your own time, thank you for taking that time as well.
All right, very good. This is Debbie again. I'm going to work with Crystal to answer some of the questions that are being fielded in the questions pane. So as we continue to work on answering these questions, if you have more, please do put them in your questions box. Now's a good time to do that. So before we head into closing comments, I do want to say thank you, Crystal, for the information you've provided. Let's see what other questions are coming in. Let's start with this one, and I think you just touched on this really in your last slide a little bit, but you might want to elaborate. So we have somebody asking about, there was some heavy focus on Facebook, and many students may not be on Facebook, but on other platforms. So how would you elaborate on that, on using the various platforms?
Right. So, Facebook is going to, Facebook, we actually can do Facebook and Instagram. So you can do the custom audience feature on Facebook and Instagram. We know Instagram is a trending platform. And so this is something that you would want to take advantage of. The thing is that the current students, we want to try to match as many as we can. The great thing is that not only does Facebook offer this feature, but also Snapchat is another one that offers a custom audience upload. So if you are having huge success on Snapchat, which is, let me just say, is a wonderful and very exciting platform to be on, because you can target people of all different ages, not just what we would consider a traditional student. They have that same feature as well. So you could take that outline, you could swap out Facebook and Instagram for Snapchat, and you could do a custom audience piece and do the same exact tactic.
And tacking on to that a little bit, somebody is asking about the email marketing campaigns in addition to social and geo-targeting.
Sure. So just kind of talking a little bit about expanding upon that a little bit more. So your email marketing, you just take that same list, because we're going to look for a personal email address, because they might not be checking their school email. I mean, they are probably, but now that they're on online delivery, so there's probably a lot more of that going on. But that personal email address is something that we find very, very effective to be able to match on certain platforms, but also to email marketing. So just as you're pulling your list for current students, your applied not registered, you're going to be able to take that and upload that list to your email marketing platform, to whatever social platform you're looking at, like we talked about, Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, and then taking that same list and using it for geofence. Does that answer your question?
We'll see. Lindsay, if you have a follow-up, please go ahead and post it. In the meantime, we do have another, not really a question, but a comment that you may want to address. We are using images with single students and not groups of people or students for our summer promotion. And I'm sure that's in light of the fact that everybody's working remotely and students are online.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big advocate for real student photos, especially in more rural areas, because people will recognize each other. And so for me, I'm a huge advocate for that. But what I can tell you is kind of trending right now, because of the fact that the news is so full of images of people right now and people in distress, it can be a little distracting to use a image of a person. It's not that we don't want to use it. Spartanburg's using it for theirs and it's working just great. So I would say give yourself an opportunity to do some testing. Do one ad with people or a person. Do another ad with maybe solid colors and direct message and a logo, and see how those work for you. It really, every community, as much as we would love to say it's cookie cutter, every community college is different. And that's what makes our job as amazing. And the fact that we have data behind it to look at what's working well and what's not, I mean, that's where it's at.
Okay, the next question, and we will be doing this. Can you share links to the 2 short videos? So we'll be sure to include those links in the PowerPoint that we send you.
Yep, and I could even try to share those in that collaborative Facebook group as well, so that you guys, because I'm not sure if you can click through, but we will make sure you have the links in both places.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
Thank
and then
you
the next question's easy to answer. It is on the screen, so the recording of the webinar, I believe that's the question, is going to be on our YouTube channel by the end of the day. And you can see it at that tinyurl.com/ncnpr YouTube. Give us till about the end of the day, but we will post it there. Next up, what applications or software can we use to make that moving text video? Is it expensive?
So you don't need a software program, no, and it shouldn't be. It's actually something that one of our designers do in again 2 to 3 days at the most. But I can absolutely find out and get Debbie, if you just want to note who that is, I can find out what software he uses and I can give that to you.
All right,
I think it's
we'll
Adobe
do that.
something. Yeah, Adobe something. I'm not exactly sure what he uses, but it's been like I seriously just send him the text. I give him the colors of the college, and he goes ahead and he builds it with some icons. It's so easy, and I think you guys would really enjoy it.
All right, I'm making a note as we speak. All right, the next question up. What messaging would you recommend for parents of dual credit students and first-time freshmen?
Well, I can tell you right now what we're looking at is the fact that people are not wanting to send their kids off to a 4-year university because they're going to be basically paying for online classes as far as of right now, the way things look right this minute. And they're not going to be getting that full college experience. So a lot of colleges right now that we're working with are doing some virtual open houses. They're also doing a senior and parent open house or webinar series where they're inviting parents. They're working with high school counselors, inviting them to like Zoom webinar meetings where they're kind of going through, these are the next things that you could be doing. Here's how we can help, partnering with high schools. The message basically is, and as parents, I'm sure you guys can relate, is I don't know that I want to send my kid across the state or across a county or even across the country right now with how things feel. And so keeping them home, and if you are going to stay home and take classes, you might as well pay less doing it, right? It's okay to stay home. And those are the messages that we've been using with parents, is that it's okay to stay home. It's okay to want your kids to stay home. You might as well pay less per credit while you do that.
Next question, do you consider proximity and or affordability a unique factor in light of the number of online programs?
Well, generally when people say, well, we're local and we're affordable, and again, Jennifer Aries, our president, will say yes, and so is McDonald's. So what's your differentiator? Right now, everybody's going to online class delivery. What is that? So what we've been doing is we've been taking an opportunity to look at the top programs, and it'll go both ways. Some colleges say, hey, I have some under-enrolled programs that would be great for online class delivery. And I have some that say, my biggest enrolling classes, I have an opportunity to, or programs, I have an opportunity to take online. So both ways, because the fact is that because there's so much going on for just general online class delivery, we're taking it to a program level. And that's where I've kind of showed you guys in those samples, not only is it a timing thing, you can get this in 8 months or 10 months, that's going to differentiate you from maybe what some other people are doing, but also looking at the targeting. So instead of doing it in Facebook or a digital campaign in general, or even a traditional media buying campaign, and just saying, hey, we're open, we're here, and we're doing online. Saying, did you know you can take this medical assistant, office assistant program online, and we're the only one in the tri-state area that can do that, or we're the only one in California that offers that. So yeah, proximity is a little bit difficult, but I would say with the dollars available, you're still going to want to target those in your service area, but just letting them know what's different. I don't know that you can break through the white noise to compete at a statewide level unless you have a unique program. But, looking back at how can you differentiate yourself from others directly around you still does make a difference, at least in my eyes.
Okay, we do have another person wanting to know about that video software, so we'll see if we can't get that added to the PowerPoint once again before we send it out. But then we do have Olivia Robinson from Bristol Community College who mentions Adobe Spark as being a good option for videos and graphics. You can upload your college's brand elements, including fonts and colors too. So there's one product that's out there evidently.
And that sounds familiar. And I will double check to make sure, but thank you, Olivia. I believe that it's Adobe. I think it is Adobe Spark.
Yep, and Kathleen Cabral from Leeward. Hi, Kathleen. She also says we can do it in Spark. So thank you for giving those tips. So we're going to go ahead and close out the webinar on behalf of NCMPR. Once again, Crystal, thank you to you and to 25th Hour Communications for bringing us this programming today. We very, very much appreciate it. Please visit NCMPR's website for more information. We're at ncmpr.org, very easy to find. The final webinar we have in this series is a Q&A Ask the Experts panel. We've got NCMPR members who are past presidents of the organization. They're recognized for their expertise in various aspects of community college marketing and PR. We'll have them joining us in a panel presentation and give you, open it wide up for questions and answers. NCMPR's website also has links to shared resources, our brand new podcast, our blog, and other resources to help you navigate issues related to the COVID-19 crisis. So please refer yourselves to our website, and if there are other resources we can offer, please let us know.